Hi, John.
Hello, how are you?
This will be the official start of the podcast. So,
Okay,
yeah, I'm good, buddy. I think we're live. I think it went out. Who knows?
I hope
That's
so.
that's that's your job to figure that out.
Yeah, I'm working on
Um,
it.
yeah. So sorry, we are a day late. Shit happens. We're a day late and a Travis short. Um,
Somewhat consistently.
yeah, pretty consistently. But it happens. We're here. I will say this will probably happen again for next week and the last week of the month because buddy John is not available on Mondays this month.
It's my fault.
Yeah, you're the problem.
Life
Now,
has happened.
eh,
Definitely not the guy who hasn't been here all season.
yeah, and now this the beginning of every podcast seems to be like a housekeeping slash slash business meeting for this group. Uh, so I'm gonna be out of town. I'm gonna be on vacation on a cruise 2 weeks from now. So we'll have next week's podcast and then I'll be out of town. So John and people watching and people listening, I want to do one of two things. I want to do either the cake is bread debate and
Okay.
just schedule it to go out that week, and there just won't be NSC content. It'll just be our unhinged bullshit. Or
Okay.
do a old Nashville FC watch along thing where we stream it, we do a Nashville FC walk along or watch along, and then we publish it as audio content. And literally, like, we'll have like the link in the description, and we'll be like, hey, like we'll talk like this. We'll pull it up and we go, okay, hit play in 3, 2, 1, boom, and people like can listen to it and watch it along with us. One of those two things. I don't know. What are you thinking?
I mean, I'm completely down for cake is bread and unhinged debates. For the other show that I co-host, we conceptualized doing a watch along or a commentary, but the trick is I don't know what your OBS looks like, how you have me being recorded,
Yeah.
but if you get the audio of the video that you're watching mixed in, because I just record desktop audio on mine, then it's very tricky to like, okay, we'll just have to get MP3s and match them up and slam them together that way.
Yeah.
So I'm completely in for a
Mitchell.
Nashville FC watch along.
Yeah. Mitchell put in chat tier list. Mitchell, I kind of want to make that a separate. I don't know. Can you make a tier list podcast? Is that a thing you can do? I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like.
no, I have
I
a
feel like.
whole overlay for we did an MCU tier list from
Well,
my other
yeah.
show.
I mean, I've done them on stream before, but I wonder if we can make that a separate podcast. Anyways, okay.
Yeah.
So we'll do something. So the week I'm gone, do not expect after game analysis. It just sorry. But something will go up. We will make sure something goes up. So yeah. Okay, so let's. Okay, so do we want to go? Do we just want to cover this game and get it out of the way, and then get into all the other fun stuff that I'll rant and rave about, or do we want to save the game till the end?
I think go ahead and blow through the game because there's not really a whole lot to talk about.
And you know what? This can kind of lead into one of my classic Brian rants. So the game, honestly, and not to brag on myself, but I know ball. Fuck Travis, he isn't here. I know ball. Um, I last podcast guessed it exactly. I said if Hani Mukhtar does not play a full 90, it's either going to be 0-0 or 1-1. It's just what it was going to be, and I am perfectly happy with a draw from this game. I don't know about you. I went in expecting a draw, and exactly what I thought was going to happen happened.
Yeah. I went in hoping for a win because I always hope for wins. But I think it was on somewhere on Twitter after the game, or it could have been one of the MLS website blurb things. They said the Red Bulls have the best, or they have the second most home points since, I think they said since Nashville had entered the league, only behind Seattle.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, a point is fine. I'm perfectly content with that. Battling injuries like Leal, Godoy out, Hani not starting, I'm perfectly fine with a point given that lineup situation.
For sure. And I, of course we always want more, and being hardcore fans and living and dying by every kick of the ball, Like, of fucking course, I was gutted when the game ended. Like,
Mhm.
that's just who I am. I want to be upset if we played Real Madrid tomorrow and tied. I would probably be very upset. You know,
Okay,
and it's like,
I wouldn't go that far.
it's, you know, whatever. Oh my God, you just got so sorry. If you're listening to this and not watching, John just got so close to the camera and like he teleported. That was fucking terrifying. My God. But anyways, so you know, that's just how it's going to be with me and with a lot of hardcore fans. But I think most people, 80% of people would look at that game and look at how the first game went and how hard it is to play Red Bull at Red Bull and how hard it has been for Nashville historically to match up against Red Bull.
Yeah.
And to come away with a 0-0 draw. It's not pretty. I'm not a fan of it, but I will take 4 points out of 2 games.
Completely agree. Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Not to club and country this, but it is a small sample size. It is. I want to see a few more games out, and I'll make a decision on the team. But so far, it's been exactly what I expected and wanted for both games.
Yeah. So what are some of the other talking points about this game?
Injuries.
I think obviously Joe Willis was man of the match. In a 0-0 draw. It pretty much is obliged to
Taylor
go
Washington.
to the keeper. Got on the score sheet. He's in the official match report.
He almost had a really good assist like right after he came in. That cross was beautiful.
It was so good. And I commented on it in the NSC Discord. I was like, this man has progressed in the years he has been here.
Oh yeah.
That
he's not
ball
getting the play
year
time.
one. Yeah. Yeah. Pro referees still suck. Water is still. Oh no, that's another one for the next show. Water might not be wet.
Oh God, shut the hell up. Fuck.
Chlorophyll is still green. Dead grass is not green. So I got to be real specific there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. So just to talk about the game a little bit more. There were injuries, right? Leal, we didn't know Leal was going to be out until someone saw he posted on his Instagram story in his car from his house like the day of the game. So like that's how everyone learned that Leal's out. I didn't know he had picked up an injury. I think he picked it up in training is what they said.
He would have had to have picked it up between when the injury report was produced.
Yeah.
And they left.
Right? Yeah.
Which blows.
Leal's out, right? Hani is still getting back to full match fitness, so he wasn't going to come on. He didn't come on until the second half. Godoy's out. Did they say an official diagnosis? Like, obviously, shoulder's fucked up, but did they give an official, like, out for this amount of time for this reason? I didn't see any updates on that.
Not that I've seen, no. Just the classic, I don't even think we got the hockey upper body injury.
Or the Ake Loba trunk, which was always hilarious.
Yes,
that
big
man
fan
broke his ass.
But he had more of a trunk injury than Mad-Eye Moody did. Shout out Harry Potter.
we had some midfield depth problems, right? And even with that, I was very happy with the performance. Like, I know Dax got a card immediately. I personally think it was a little more savvy than people give him credit for. He was preventing a scoring opportunity, right? He knew he was going to get a card in that situation.
I think it's more... It sucks that he got a card because it was in like the second minute.
Yeah.
But you're completely right. It's a yellow card worthy foul. It just Dax probably thought he could buy one because it was so early.
Yeah. I think he performed well. Like, obviously he's getting older. He's going to start showing his age, but I think he did okay. Look, 0-0.
I think he was not great.
I think he was serviceable. I think the midfield was serviceable. Now, what I'm getting at is I am worried that if we continue to have these injury problems with Dax starting to show his age and Anunga, sorry, his name escaped me, being a walking yellow card, that as the season goes on, if we have any more injuries or any more problems, or heaven forbid that, Godoy starts shows his age out of nowhere, what happens next? Should we would you rather, you being you, John, and you being you, the listener, would you rather in the next window us cover depth in the midfield or still go after that star striker with what we have? Is the concern big enough that you want to cover depth in the midfield first?
For me, it 100% midfield. I'm banking on this being an on year for CJ, number one.
I think
Teal
Bunbury's been
being
awesome.
in form like he has been in spurts for Nashville when he's healthy. And I mean, they brought in Fafa. We have a full season of Schaffelberg. We still have Wheel, Leal, Hani. Like, strikers really just need to hold up the ball and get it to the fast players running past them
100%.
in this system. So,
like, and don't get me wrong, I would love a DP like true 9 striker, right? I would love that. But I think we can survive with what we have. We have honestly, like, Schaffelberg and Fafa are better weapons than I expected them to be. They've performed well together on the field at the same time. They've paired up well with Hani, which we saw Schaffelberg going into last year, but he's kicked it into a new gear this year. I think if presented the opportunity, I would take a solid, not even depth piece, but just a solid player in the midfield over a striker at this point.
yeah.
If and only if they're able to go get a young striker on the cheap from somewhere else in the league or Latin America or wherever to help with the age that's everywhere,
that
essentially.
16-year-old kid.
Or he pops off, Adam Sipic. But
is it a hard C or a soft C, like an Eastern European?
I don't think he's Eastern European.
But he plays in Huntsville. Surely he's Eastern European.
Maybe, I don't know. But
Huntsville and Huntsville, Croatia, that town we've all heard of.
Of course. But I think we covered well. I think we covered well last game. Like, yeah, Dax had an iffy game, but I think we covered well in the midfield last game. That is the one spot on the field that's starting to worry me, and I almost feel like we can cover striker with our talent elsewhere up with Hani, essentially. Hani, Schaffelberg, Teal, CJ. Like, we can Fafa, we can cover that somewhat. I don't know if the age of our midfield is going to last us much longer. Oh, we got bots in the chat. Okay, thank you.
We had bots in the chat.
I saw the bot for 1 second.
Like, it took me a second. I was like, "Ooh, first time chatter." Ah, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I completely agree. There's enough serviceable depth at center forward outside of preferred starters, and serviceable depth in the midfield. Like, at some point this season, I would not be surprised. I would be disappointed. I would not be surprised if like Anunga and Leal started a game as a midfield pair.
Yeah. Valma says he thinks we're fine in the midfield or okay in the midfield. Again, I think we have we're good in the midfield, right? We have Leal who can fall back into a center mid, right? Godoy, who seems to be in other than getting hurt, seemed to have played well in that first game. Davis, who's a stud's gonna play every minute you give him.
Absolutely.
McCarty, who's still good. He's still a good player. Like, I'm fine with all the players we have. I just get worried. I'm just worried about age is like my one thing. Like, I'm worried about Godoy and I'm worried about Dax. And there's like a clear replacement for Dax and Davis, right? What's the clear replacement for Godoy? Is it Leal long term? Like, what's
I believe the clear replacement for Godoy is TBD.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's worrying.
That's fair.
To me personally.
But yeah, I mean, we did fine. And just looking at the game as a whole, again, we didn't expect much from this. Like, I was never really, I mean, I was nervous, but I was never really scared of Red Bull that entire game. Like, it was a very boring back and forth. Like, if you don't know soccer and you're not a watcher of soccer frequently, that's one you would turn off because it's boring, right?
Yes, completely agree. I was a little bit worried with the chances John Tolkien was getting, except that they were chances John Tolkien was getting.
Yeah, that's mullet guy, right?
Oh yeah, that is mullet.
Our mullet is way cooler. our mullet, John, is way cooler.
I really like John Tolkien, man.
You look at
I
his
really
1980s like action movie bad guy haircut and go, I like that. No.
It's not so much that, so
we
much
have
as it
Alan
is even
Jackson
on the
Jr. on our team, and you're looking over at fucking the.
Could we somehow get a video of Jacob Schaffelberg trying to say Chattahoochee?
Oh God!
And just like looking at it, trying to sound it out.
Oh man,
Dan Lovitz, between two posts, we need to do this shit.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, our mullet's way cooler. Yeah, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, but you were wrong.
There's no coming back from that.
No, there's not. Hey, okay, I guess you're just there is actually no coming back from that.
Yeah, I can't compete.
And looking at the game, right? So, like I said, exactly what we expect. Nashville also easily could have won that. Like, yes, Will was offside, right? He was offside. But the play developed beautifully, like a half second earlier, and that's a goal, right?
Yeah.
Hani's vision on that pass and
is so
Alex's
good.
ability to get into the open field, that was a beautifully set up play. It didn't count in the end, but, positives, right? Zimmerman, 100% brought down on the box. That should have been a fucking penalty. If that was any star player in this league that's a forward, that's being called a penalty. If that's Carlos Vela, penalty.
Oh, if it's Carlos Vela, they're taking that player who fouled him out back, and you're never going to see him again. Yeah.
So, there were two clear chances for Nashville to win this game. It could have been 2-0. It wasn't. It's not always going to go our way. And I am okay with this result being a 0-0 draw. Which leads me into, I guess, my rant of why the fuck are people already freaking out? And again, sorry if you're in the chat and you're one of these people. Why are people freaking out about Nashville SC's performance 2 games in? Why am I already seeing Gary Smith out shit? Like, and I last year at one point was teetering on Gary out because we had a significant slump. But like, dude, we played a beautiful, nearly perfect game, except for like 45 seconds where Joe came off the line weird in that first game. This game, we went into another top 10 team in the league, in the league's power standings, who we have trouble with every time we play them, who are very hard to beat at home. And we get a result. We get a draw out of that we could have won. I truly, truly do not get it.
Yeah. I think part of it is everyone, like you and I were saying, we always want wins, but we're content with good point, like a good point from a draw. And there are people who aren't able to separate that. They say, my team isn't clearly the best team. It has to be the team's fault. It has to be the coach's fault. Everything has to be perfect all the time. And as an honors class kid in school, that's a horrible way to live your life.
Nerd.
Oh no, I'm not that anymore, believe me. But living life where everything has to be like the best possible opportunity or the best result, like it's exhausting.
And like I get it. Like I want a win. I wanted a win out of that. Am I bummed out that we didn't get a win? Sure. Am I bummed out that we had a couple players injured, and because those couple players were injured, we didn't flow as well offensively? Sure. Am I bummed our star player didn't come until halftime? Yes. But like, dude, look at it. We played another top 10, like I just said, another top 10 team in the league. We usually struggle against them. We were injured. We had starters out. Our MVP didn't come on until halftime, and we pulled out a draw, and we looked okay doing it and could have won it on the road. Like, dude, it was a good game. Like,
yeah,
to the normal person who doesn't, isn't a Nashville SC or an MLS sicko like us, you watch that and it's boring, sure, but that's the style of game we had to play to get the result, to get any result. I don't know, and I am all for, and we'll do it all season long. I am all for bashing the club when they need to be bashed. I'm all for calling out players, calling out the coach, calling out the fans, calling out the front office. We've done it already a bunch this year when they deserve it.
Yeah.
But like, what did you expect? Like, we're not going to win that game 5-0 on the road. I'm sorry.
Why not, Brian? Why didn't you score 5 goals?
Hey, if they want to pay me, what's the league minimum? I'll take the league minimum. I'm sure it's more than I make.
Oh, shit. I don't know. Oh, guaranteed. Yeah. I say that also not knowing what you make, but like, it's got to be.
Yeah. But, and again, like, if you want to negatively, if you want to call out the club for that game in any way, the way to do that is they could have done better. They should have done better, but they did well, right? Like, It is hard to call. You can call out individual moments from that game. You can call out that, like, Moyle's offside. It was mistimed by a second. You can call out, some iffy Dax stuff. But overall, 2 games in, 4 points. Where, like, I think there's only like 5 or 6 teams that won both games right off the bat. Like, I'm fine, dude. Where we're at right now, I'm fine. Come back to me in a week. Come back to me in 2 weeks. If we lose to Cincy, I'm giving up.
Yeah.
But
I will say there's one team sitting on 0 points that makes me very excited, and I wish that we had relegation in MLS.
Go on.
And that is the LA Galaxy.
Oh, that
because they have not played yet.
That does tickle me.
Fuck them. Give us our gold back, you bitches.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Speaking of which, there has been some serious pearl clutching in some MLS circles this past week, and they've been called out for it. I'm sure you're aware, right, John?
Somewhat tangentially, but I also don't really care.
I don't care either, but we're gonna talk about it because we were sickos. We're gonna talk about it.
We did, and I said the word.
We're just a bunch of little freaks here, right? A bunch of little freaks that say the fuck word, right? And and look, a video was posted by a Charlotte fan that was like something along the lines of like, "Oh, when I tell people about the fans in St. Louis, I'm gonna show them this." And it was, I don't even think they were saying. Were they actually saying fuck? I'm pretty sure they were saying "F you, Charlotte." Were they saying "fuck you, Charlotte"? Either way, I don't care. 2 of the supporters groups from the St. Louis fan culture came out and said this is unacceptable, blah 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 blah, and everyone roasted them. They got destroyed. Who the fuck cares? Who cares? Who cares? I don't. Like I get it. Like, I'm not saying that every chant and everything that the supporter section sings, chants, whatever, needs to be laced with swears and insults. Like, no.
Yeah.
No, there's plenty, and I'm talking Nashville now, but fuck St. Louis. Like, there's plenty of positive stuff, right? But the fun of these games is being able to let loose a little bit. And I have never once, and I don't know about you, I had never once been insulted by another team saying fuck Nashville sucks, bashing Nashville, because it's part of the game. We do it back and forth. 80% of the time it's for fun, right? It's to let out a little bit of steam. It's to have that kind of, city pride, that tribal instinct amongst your fellow, Nashvillians or wherever you're from. And I don't know. It's absolutely ridiculous to me.
Apparently, so Great Pants Thief in chat is saying there was a subset of organized fans doing the goal kick chant that shall never be named.
See, that's different. That's
a whole nother conversation.
There's a whole different thing between in the video that was posted that got the reaction was literally St. Louis fans chanting like "fuck you, Charlotte" or "f you, Charlotte" or whatever it was. I think it got deleted. The P word chant or doing anything that is remotely homophobic, racist, anything like that is so unbelievably inappropriate that shit needs to be stopped. And it hasn't been a huge problem here, but it's definitely popped up a couple times in Nashville. And for the most part, it has been shut down fucking immediately.
Yeah.
And it has to be shut down immediately because then you get the situation that New York City was in, and they had supporters groups that were you know,
Yeah,
we're not gonna go into
not
that,
great.
but yeah,
Not great, folks.
yeah. So I agree. Shut that shit down. All I'm saying is like for example, I could see the same mentality of person coming after Nashville, and I've seen it with the Preds coming after Nashville for the goalie taunting, right? Or coming after Nashville for, you know, whatever taunting stuff we do, or saying, you know, fuck in a chant here and there. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares?
I guess I'm exhausted about all of the dialogue about chants, man, because it's either they're not original and they just take what everyone else does, or they said a bad word and my child is alive. They're not at the stadium, but they could have heard it. Like, nothing can ever be good enough
No.
for the generic fan on Twitter, and it's exhausting.
You will never ever please everyone, right? What works, and we're talking specifically Nashville now. What works for Nashville and what's worked so far is what we do currently, right? And you can't say stuff hasn't been added, because it has, right? There's been chants added just about every year. It's been a painfully slow process, but it's been added. And yes, one of them says fuck, and there was a movement to change it to bloody mental. No one says that. Everyone says fucking mental. And
you mean you won't say we're having our pod on Tuesday?
No, I'm not. I'm not doing that. I refuse to do that. I refuse to call the referee a wanker. That's no. Let me say it one more time louder for people in the back. No. Like, okay. I hate that, right? But after every home game, after the first, like, everything leading up to the first home game, people were complaining exactly what you're talking about. Oh, it's the same chance everyone else does. It's not original. Blah 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 blah. And like, yeah, there is a shred of truth to that. But as soon as the game ended, you know what I saw on Twitter? Nothing but, oh, the fans were fantastic. The atmosphere was insane. The this, the that, the this. So like, just go fucking scream and have fun, and ignore the people that are just going to complain about every single last thing. And yes, and I'm not saying you can't complain. You can. I complain. This entire podcast is me complaining and John saying, "Yeah, you're right."
Essentially, yeah.
You can complain. All I'm saying is, don't let it take your peace. Don't. Have fun at soccer games, man. That's
Enjoy your pay too much for your very high quality concessions and your very okay beer.
Very okay beer.
Yeah. I love the food at Geodis, man. I will talk that shit up all day.
Oh yeah. Did you see they were on Footy Scran today?
I did, and they confused people because they thought that price was for 2 Daddy's dogs, and it is not. It is for 1 Daddy's dog.
It is not. In America, we charge way too much for concessions.
Yeah, plus the Daddy's dog bun is thicker than me, so
to be fair,
it's a problem.
I've gotten some hot dogs before from Geodis, and I didn't finish it because it was too much on the dog. So the price is a little up there, but I'm okay with it. No, I will not have fun at soccer games. To be fair, and I'm reading chat, by the way. To be fair, there's definitely been soccer games where I've not had fun, but I'm definitely there.
We also had how long before the league comes and approaches the croc block and asks them to behave. Well, Shea Salinas fucking retired, so I say never. Jackass. Sorry, Shea Salinas is a jackass, not the person in chat who said that.
No, not you.
The regular $7 concession dogs are all right. I'm gonna have one Saturday, and I'm already looking forward to it.
If you go to NSC games and you don't get an empanada, you're incorrect. You're just wrong.
I know. They're so far.
They're delightful. Okay, so here's my weekly segment of Brian complaining that the club doesn't acknowledge our history enough. I have now seen 3 separate supporter groups do an MPSL throwback. What are you waiting for, NSC? All I want, all a lot of us want, is some acknowledgement of USL and MPSL. You do it every now and again, but give us something tangible, man. Give us
Yeah.
something tangible. And
Who was
John,
the third one?
Soccer Knots in Huntsville.
Okay.
They released another Olive and York, right? Olive and York.
Did they actually release it? I didn't pay attention.
Today, like 3 hours ago, was posted, and it's like kind of a space galaxy theme, but then on the side paneling coming out of the like thrusters of the rocket is the NPSL stripes.
Why is their website so bright? Like I got flashbanged and I hate it. I don't see it.
Hey,
maybe they just posted it.
Jay Mazza, I know it'll be a $250 jersey when customized. I get it. I understand. I don't like. I get it. It's expensive. That's an Adidas problem. That is an Adidas problem. I don't care how much it costs. I want them to wear it and acknowledge where we came from. Damn it. Like that's all I want. That's all I want. Yeah, it's also on Soccer Knots Twitter. If you're
that, I just pulled it up.
Yeah. So that is basically all my rants for today. I don't know if you've got anything.
We still have like half an hour left, man. Come on.
You know, look, this show is not always an hour. It's between 30 minutes and an hour.
So
we can jump into some preview of the next game. I don't know. What are you feeling?
I mean, we could preview Montreal.
Yeah,
I feel
here's the part,
worryingly confident about this game.
Here's the part where chat saves us. Chat, if you have any talking points or any questions, it can be about NSC, it can be about any of our unhinged bullshit. Please drop it in chat, and we will bring your topic into the show.
Oh, we did have our flex.
Oh yeah, you have a haiku
from a club member.
Stop right now. You have a haiku.
I do have a haiku. I have it pulled up.
Shh. Hold on. And
Let me open it.
John, shut the fuck up. John, shut the fuck up. And now, poetry with John.
These so-called pro refs ruin every Nashville game and get paid for it.
Snaps in the chat. Snaps in the chat. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I love it.
Newton fucking bodied me on the timeline though.
What happened?
He said referees are priests that absolve all the wrong sins and cost us glory.
Snaps for Newton. Snaps for
I was just like, shit, dude, that's better than anything I've got.
That is way better. I mean, he wrote it for you. You could have just came with that.
It's on there are receipts. Someone else would have been like, no, you didn't write that.
That's fair. That's fair.
Credit where credit's due.
Okay, so why do you feel overly confident about this Montreal game?
Okay, so they have a new coach who flamed out spectacularly at DC United. Georgi Mihailovic gone. Alistair gone. Ismail Kone gone. No one really got replaced either. Well, Alistair got replaced. They brought in Aaron Herrera from RSL. But they're learning a new system, and they barely have players. Like Romel Kyoto will still be a problem, but he's Romel Kyoto. He's been in the league a while. We kind of know who he is and what he does.
Yeah.
So they are retooling. Their championship window not only slammed shut, but the window slammed shut so aggressively the wall fell over.
Did you feel the impact from the window slamming?
I absolutely did, and I'm trying to come up with something to say like CF, but I just don't. I used all of my
F in impact.
I used all of my creativity on my mid haiku.
John, I'm now gonna require a NSC haiku from you every single stream.
How dare you, sir?
This is a bit that you have walked into, and you must now claim.
It was thrust upon me like a yellow card from a pro referee. Exclusively to a Nashville player, though,
now,
of course.
If I will give you a reprieve if you want to show up and you have a sonnet or perhaps
a limerick,
maybe even an audio podcast listeners, I am sorry, you will have to catch this on stream, an interpretive dance. These are acceptable alternatives, but one of these must be done. Your silence speaks volumes.
I was typing. I was replying to somebody in chat. Uh, I'm sure I could come up with something. You know, because I was on Canva, I have a little blueprint for my again very mid,
So wait,
very mid.
Did you make a graphic for this?
I put it in our chat with Yumi and Travis.
Oh, I don't have, like, I have the window popped out and I'm not even looking at Discord. I just have you up on the screen. So I will post that after the dude. Perfect. We need more poetry in this community. We need John.
What's up?
John, can we turn one of your little poems, little NSC poems into a two-poll?
Into a two-poll? Hell yes, we can.
Please. Okay, chat. It's not going to be this one because this one was mid. This is, I mean, you tried.
It's not great.
You tried, but the best artist starts somewhere, right?
It's true.
At some point during the season, I need chat, I need Twitter, I need everyone listening or watching this, like, nominate one of these haikus, whatever, and I will make a two-poll out of it. Like, this is the thing.
I'm Googling how much a triangle costs.
Oh no.
If I could get a cheap triangle, it's $7. I'm gonna get a $7 triangle for this shit.
Have a corner of the supporter section just be the poetry corner. That'll actually be the opposite corner from the croc block.
Well, then the croc block has to move because my season tickets are in the chaos corner.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh my goodness. We're fucking stupid. Okay, but yeah. Okay, so I am also insanely confident going into this Montreal game. I think it's going to, there should be, knock on wood, should be the first time Hani Mukhtar gets a full 90, right? He came in at half. He played a full half. So more minutes than the previous game. He has a full week to recover and train. He didn't seem injured in either game. This should be the first time he gets a full 90, right? So that already looks bad for Montreal, a depleted Montreal. Hopefully Leal's back. Did we ever find out how long they said he's out? Is he just day to day?
I have no idea, man.
Hopefully Leal's back, right? So theoretically, we have CJ or Teal, probably Teal because he's been kind of balling out recently.
I think so, and I think CJ is still rehabbing an injury as well.
Fafa, Schaffelberg, Hani, Leal, Davis, right? Against a depleted Montreal team. I'm hoping that we gel as well as we did against New York all game long with Hani all game long versus Montreal. If that's the case, I guess my official prediction, 2-0. I would love to say a higher score, but my gut says 2-0, and it'll be like a Hani Mukhtar free kick or a penalty kick, and it'll be like Teal tucks one home from a rocket from Leal, right? Like Leal shoots a rocket, goes off the post or goes off the keeper, lands at Teal's feet, and he just kind of pokes it in.
Right.
What do you think?
I have something in my throat right now is what I'm thinking.
Jay Mazza saying he starts but plays 60 to 70. That's also a possibility. He could come off late. I would not like to see him come off late, but if we're winning 2-0 at that point, sure, take him off.
I think it's 3-1. I also think Hani starts but does not go the full 90. Let's see. Did you predict scores in yours, or did you just say 2-0?
I said 2-0. Hani scores like a free kick or a penalty kick, one of the two. And then the other one will be Teal kind of toe poking in a rebound off of like a Randall Leal just fucking laser beam. Like it's going to go off the post or off the keeper and just land at Teal's feet.
Okay. I'm going to say Schaffelberg scores, then Fafa scores, and we're hyped about it. Then Montreal gets one back. I'm going to say Kyoto just because, like, who else is going to score goals for Montreal this year? And then I'm gonna throw out a Sean Davis banger to seal the game.
Oh, rare. Yeah. But I'm here for it.
Yeah, no, I'd absolutely be down for that. So
Cool.
Travis, what's your prediction for the game?
Oh wow, not here. Crazy how he's not here.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he was actually almost going to be here on time and wasn't able to. Yeah, I think everyone kind of agrees with you. It feels like a very winnable game. It feels like a 2 to 3 goal game.
I love the 3-1. We have a random own goal to break the clean sheet.
Oh, I like that. Like Joe turns around and like boots it into the goal and then flips off the nearest player.
Montreal can't score on us. It's like dodgeball. No one makes me bleed my own blood.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, winnable game. And you know that Bolt, not even a hot take. It's not. I think Nashville is going to resemble more, like defensively, it's going to resemble more of 2021 than it will 2022 this year. I think it was a down year for Zimmerman. And a down year for Zimmerman is not winning Defender of the Year, but being a damn good defender. I think it's going to be a bounce back year for him. I think it's going to be we're going to have Shaq for a full year, which I guess we did before, but still, we're going to have Shaq's going to be fine. Mayer's kind of coming into his own, becoming the milkman we all knew he can be. He was a milk boy before, and now he's a milkman. I think defensively, as long as our midfield holds up defensively, we will be very, very stout this year and be closer to 2021 than we were 2022. I think 2021 we were strong all year long. Last year there was peaks and valleys. If that holds, we're going to be a damn good team and we're going to be a problem.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think if I were going to be buying stock in an NSC player, I would absolutely be buying Jack Mayer stock right now.
Milk stock.
About to go through the roof.
Milk stock. Yeah.
Hey, Brian.
Yo.
Why do cow milking stools only have 3 legs?
This is a pun-free zone.
No, it's not. Damn it.
Okay. Why do they have 3 legs, John?
Because the cow has the udder.
Okay. And on that, I am out of things to talk about for this week. We are 41 minutes in. It's gonna be a shorter one because that game kind of sucked.
The game
the result was great. The game, content-wise, kind of sucked. So, yeah, we're gonna end here. Fuck
now
you,
that
John.
Chat is also leaving.
Now that everyone's gone, no one's here anymore. For those still here and for those listening,
oh my gosh,
thank you for listening. Dude, every single podcast so far, we have had more downloads, more listeners, more views every single time. So it's amazing. Fucking love you guys. Do me a favor right now. Stop what you're doing. Go rate us 5 stars on. You can do both. Rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify. It helps a fucking ton for us to just show up in the algorithm and grow some more. Follow us on both sides. Just follow the show. You'll get notifications when stuff goes live. Follow us on Twitch. Twitch.tv/hasbeengames. Follow us on Twitter. I'm sure you do already. Just keep interacting, man. It's making this a lot more fun than it was last year, and it was fun last year, but it just feels different. I like it a lot more this year. So yeah, love you guys.
I was giving CPR, but I'll stop what I'm doing to go rate on Apple Podcasts.
Yes, please. Like they will after finish CPR, then wake them up and be like, hey, have you subscribed to Nashville Soundcheck on Spotify? And if they said no, hit them in the face until they're knocked out again. And then when they wake up, remind them and make them do it. But anyways, thank you for listening. I love you, you little freaks, you little Nashville SC sickos. We will catch you next week. John, any closing words?
I don't believe so, other than I'm excited to get back to the castle this weekend.
All right, cool. See you all this weekend. Hey, come say hi. And please say you know me from the podcast, because I will freak out and be like, if I've never met you in person, I'll be like, oh fuck, do I know this person from high school? I forgot their name. Just tell me you know me from the podcast, because I will feel awful.
Tell him you know him from high school.
Oh,
tell him you know him from high school.
I will melt. Yeah. Okay. Deuces, y'all.